Shalom. Before I begin this video, first and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Rahawah Kakwadash, and all double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that continually roll very well to this very day. That's continually feeding the flock through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. And shalom to the whole elect that's continually plowing in his work. Give it diligence to make your calling and election sure, in faith, truth, and sincerity, and also in all charity. Now, the topic of this video is going to be entitled Shade from Trouble. Alright? Or should I say shade from the day of trouble, in which that's what we're preparing ourselves for now in this time. You know, now we're getting our minds together and our thoughts and preparing ourselves for the coming danger, which is soon to come on the soils of America, which is going to come by the way of what we know today as a total lockdown of the city, in which comes in the form of martial law, executive orders, basically the complete shutdown of the system, in which that's why now you're seeing in the news concerning a looming government shutdown, because and how convenient would it be to have that during this so-called holiday season, all right? Because, you know, it's nice and cold. You know, people are have their minds fixated on trying to get, you know, their families gifts and this and that, trying to prepare themselves for this time. But meanwhile, the men of the Lord, now we're preparing ourselves for the danger that's to come. All right? Because we know that around the corner, all hell's about to break loose. All right? That's why you see so much information now coming out concerning this economical system, how it's crumbling day by day, and that the advancement of the microchip technology, which is our radio frequency identification device, which comes in the form of a microchip, that's being advanced. All right. So these things are falling right into place. These things are falling right into the categories of prophecy. These things are happening according to the plans of Yahweh, which is the name of the Heavenly Father and the Son Yahweh Shai. These things were meant to be laid up in store. All right, because for the word of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, his words have got to be fulfilled. So now that we've seen these things happen, now we're seeing that his words are being made manifest. And you know the scriptures say that he's a man that should not lie. And since we know this, we know it's around the corner, man. You know, it's not going to be too long before this microchip technology is made mandated. And that's why this economy is crumbling the way it is. All right? Because it's going to lead right into the mark of the beast, which we know is the microchip. All right? Because the mark of the beast is physical, man. All right? There's no, when you go into the mark of the beast, it's not spiritual. All right? It's not a spiritual mark that you take that's in your mind or whatever, you know, like a doctrine or Christianity or an embargo. That's not what the mark of the beast is, man. All right? How are you going to tempt somebody with Christianity? You know, how are you going to tempt somebody or have an ultimatum when it comes to buying and selling? How are you gonna buy and sell with a religion or a belief? How are you going to buy and sell with an embargo? All right? A common person having an embargo. How does that work? All right? You know, I mean, these guys make blanket statements like that without having anything to back it up. All right. But if you go into the word mark in the Greek, it tells you what it is. If you go into the root word where that word comes from, it's something that's inserted. All right. Something that's inserted, like you put a pail in the ground, or you put a stake in the ground to make a marker, to mark your territory. So now that we know that, the root word of the word mark, which goes to the Greek word karox, if we know that, how are you gonna stick Christianity in somebody's skin? In their right hand or in their forehead. How are you gonna do that? How are you gonna impale somebody's skin with Christianity and an embargo? That's not possible, man. All right, Christianity is a belief. Okay, and another doctrine is nothing but a belief. That's all it is. So how are you going to implant that within somebody's skin? That doesn't make any sense. But I'm dwelling too much on that. We've been back and forth with these guys, these other Israelite camps concerning that. And I mean, of course, they can't get it, man. So we're not going to dwell on too long, but we're going to continue to push out information concerning the mark of the beast. All right? Because that is one of the major prophecies that is to be fulfilled in this day that we're living in right now, in this generation. All right? And the only way to be protected from that is being under the shade of Yahweh Bashmiel Shai. All right? That's the only way. Okay? Because Yahweh Bashmiel Shai is going to come back and he's going to judge the ones who have taken the mark. And like the scripture say in Revelation, the 14th chapter, which I brought out in the previous video, is that they're going to be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels, in the presence of Yahweh Shai. All right. Now, I'm going to go ahead and jump to the scriptures. It's the book of Isaiah, the 33rd chapter, in the 6th verse. It says, "And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of Yahweh Bashmiel Shai is his treasure." All right. Now, the way that fear is instilled in you is by, like I just quoted earlier, Revelation, the 14th chapter, starting at the 9th verse. If you take that mark, then guess what? You're dead, man. You're marked for death. And that is a part of the fear. All right. Knowing that if you take the mark, you're gonna be put to death by the Lord, man. That's a shameful death. All right. So the fear of Yahweh Bashmiel Shai is our treasure, man. All right. Which fear is a great way to have somebody do something, man. Fear is the greatest motivator. All right. Case in point, hey, I got to bring out the example of Israel, right? When Israel was put into a position of difficulty, which happened time and time again, they would always turn to Yahweh Bashmiel Shai when they started fearing. All right, which motivated them to turn back and to try to be in good graces with Yahweh Bashmiel Shai again. But see, now there's only a select few that know the fear of Yahweh Bashmiel Shai. There's only a select few that acknowledges the fear of Yahweh Bashmiel Shai. All right, because not many of our people understand what our Lord is capable of doing because they don't believe. All right. So once again, it says, "And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation." So wisdom and knowledge is also going to be the strength of our salvation. All right. Why is that, man? Because that's full assurance of the work that we did, and that there is a reward at the end of that, man. All right. That's a part of having the wisdom and the knowledge, because part of having the wisdom and the knowledge, the rewards that are to come for fulfilling the commandments of Yahweh Bashmiel Shai. When I say that, I mean by us going on the highways and byways and to warn our people, the ones that hear and understand, so that we can take the blood off our hands. That's pursuant to Ezekiel, the 33rd chapter. So we are fulfilling that right now. All right. And the Lord's going to greatly reward us for doing that. All right. Versus a person who didn't warn the people. And there's these guys that are saying that the mark of the beast is not the microchip. They're saying that this is an embargo or a doctrine or Christianity. You know, those they got blood on their hands, man. They got some serious debts to pay with Yahweh Shem Shai, because they leading the people astray when they tell our people that the mark of the beast is this or that, other than the microchip. Because we already know. I mean, the scriptures tell you itself what it entails. All right. And even before then, when the apostle elders were speaking, even before the RFID, even before you even had a term RFID, they were speaking about the microchip. All right. It wasn't thought of back then in those days. And they spoke about it. But guess what? Now it's happening. All right. So guess what? Wisdom and knowledge is gonna be the stability of our times. All right. Guess what? Because while everyone else is bugging out and losing their minds over everything that's going on, you know, after the dollar crashes and they're gonna realize that there's no more money, or there's no money in their bank accounts, you know, their bank account's gonna be zero in that day. All right. And guess what? In that day, they're gonna they're gonna look for answers. All right. And then afterwards, they're gonna be presented with the mark. All right. Now, this is 1 Peter, the first chapter, and let's see. All right, it's 1 Peter, the first chapter, in the 12th verse. It says, "Unto whom it was revealed that not unto themselves, but unto us, they did minister the things which are now reported unto you by them that have preached the gospel unto you with the Holy Spirit sent down from heaven, which things the angels desire to look into," man. So that the angels desire to look into these things that we know, because they're there to fulfill the commandments of what the Lord wants them to do. They don't have the same understanding as we do. All right, so they desire to look into these things and to know what we know. All right, that's why in that time, the saints of the Lord, who are the elect of the nation of Israel, which Lord's will, we're part of that hopefully elect number. In that day, we're going to judge angels. All right, that's why the Lord is giving us His understanding now, so that we'll be able to judge, and we're going to be on the level to where we're even going to be able to judge angels. All right, and spirits. Okay, that's the magnitude of the reward that I mentioned earlier. All right. Now it says, "Wherefore gird up the loins of your mind, be sober, and hope to the end for the grace that is to be brought unto you at the revelation of Yahweh Shai and Mashiach." Right. So when Yahweh Shai comes back. All right. And that grace period started when Yahweh Shai gave himself up for a sacrifice. And that grace period is used to get your mind right, to get your mind in tune with Yahweh Shem Shai. It's not used for a cloak of maliciousness like these other people do, like our people, the majority of our people, should I say. All right. You know, a cloak to do whatever the hell they want to do, which they throw the grace card around and thinking that they're okay. But the Lord's looking at that, man. All right. So it says, "As obedient children, not fashioning yourselves according to the former lusts in your ignorance," right? Because we're not ignorant anymore. All right. Now we know. All right. So there's no way, and actually there's no way possible in this day and age now to where you can say that you've been ignorant of this truth, or the ignorant of the mark of the beast, or ignorant of the time of Jacob's trouble. You can't say that now, because this information has been pushed out for years and years and years. It's a mountains and more mountains of information has been pushed out on this topic, or these set of topics concerning the truth, that is overflowing. You know? So that's why the Lord said, look, there's going to be absolutely no excuse in that day. I believe it's in the Apocrypha where it says that. All right? So it says, so they can be left without excuse. Okay? Verse 15 said, but as he which hath called you is holy, so be holy in all manner of conversation. All right? So that is being in line with the 100% doctrine. All right? A form of not being holy is teaching wayward doctrines like the mark of the beast being an embargo, or Christianity. All right? Or saying all Edomites can make it in the kingdom. They're just going to be employees. Or saying that Babylon the Great is not America. Though that kind of conversation is not holy. All right? Now verse 16, because it is written, be ye holy, for I am holy. And if you call on the Father Yahweh, who without respect of persons judges according to every man's work, pass the time of your sojourning here in fear. And that's pretty much it on that. But I had another precept in mind that I wanted to grab, but it escapes me right now. Actually, another one just popped up in my head. Right, called Yahweh Shem Shai. This is Revelation the 15th chapter, and start at the second verse. It says, and I saw as it were of a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of the Most High. And they sing the song of Moses, the servant of the Most High, and the song of the Lamb, saying, great and marvelous are thy works, Lord power almighty. Just and true are thy ways, thou King of saints. All right, in which the ones that are going to get the victory over the beast and over his image, which the image, like I mentioned in the previous video, the image being the system that you see now, and the mark being the microchip, which is fully integrated into the system, may I add, and over the number of his name, right, which is Chi Stigma 603 stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of the Most High, and they sung the song of Moses, right, like it says right here. Now, going down to verse 4, it says, who shall not fear thee, O Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai, and glorify thy name? Because here it is today, man. You got the name of the Heavenly Father and the Son right here in front of their faces, but they deny it. I'm talking about these other Israelite camps, the ones that call on different names. There's only one name. I mean, the Lord always speaks about keeping your eyes single, all right, and being in the singleness of mind. So why would he bring out confusion like that? You know, because when you teach that you can call him whatever you want to call him, that's bringing confusion. And the scriptures say that the Most High is not the author of confusion. All right. It says, right, so it says, who shall not fear thee, O Lord, and glorify thy name, right? Because the Lord has through time and time again shown his power through his marvelous works. All right, the works that he did, the miracles that he made happen. All right. That's why now in this time, the signs that he's been creating, or the signs that he has done, and the marvelous works that he's done has been done through his men, because his men is used as a sign of his coming. All right, and he's also going to use his men to exact whatever he wants. All right, because we're the instruments of Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai. Okay, we're the clay, he's the potter. Like the scriptures say, the scriptures go deep into that. But Lord's will, that'd be another topic for another video. All right. It says, okay. So yeah, that's pretty much it on that. There's more on that. It says, for thou only